Manly, in fact, joined the league. They've played 78 times, Manly winning 49, Parramatta 25. Manly have amassed 1,507 points, Parramatta 1,005. The Brookvale story, they've played 34 times here, Manly winning 23, Parramatta on 10 occasions. Their last clash was the KB Cup of just a few weeks ago, when Manly won by 5 points to 0. The Manly club honours, they've taken out the premiership on 4 occasions and were club champions back in 72, while Parramatta have won the last 2 competitions, 81 and 82, and club champions on 7 occasions. So as I said, we're dealing with 2 heavyweight clubs, both champions, and they go into battle in just a moment. But before kick-off, let's go to the dressing rooms, to Bill Anderson and Graeme Hughes.
We're in the Parramatta dressing room, and 1 win out of their last 5 matches isn't such an impressive record for the 1982 Premiers. But I feel I saw enough in their clash with Canterbury last week to suggest that today they'll be back in the winners' circle.
We're in the Manly dressing room, and there are a lot of reasons why Manly could win this game. But Parramatta have equally good credentials. Let's just say it's going to be a great game of football between 2 talented and well-coached teams. Manly Sea Eagles, front runners in the Winfield Cup race, with 8 wins, 1 loss on 16 points. Take the field for today's encounter against the Eels of Parramatta, defending champions. Eadie, Rebo, Carey, Close, Sigsworth, Thompson, Blake, McKay, Boyd, Vorden, Brown, Krilich and Gerard. New boy in the Manly side is Phil Carey, that man who came from the coalfields to Manly a couple of years ago, and he's in the side with Kerry Bowstead unavailable. Parramatta taken out by Stephen Edge. They've won 6 matches of the 9 played and are on 12 points on the league ladder and share at the moment 3rd placing. Here's the full team readout for Parramatta. Phillips, Hunt, Lydiard, Cronin, Kenny, Ella, Sterling, Price, Sharp, Duffy, Jerd, Edge and Bugden. Gary Phillips, a new face in the Parramatta side. This is the first time he's been chosen in the top grade, and he's back at fullback today. Lydiard goes to the wing to make way for Eric Growth. Welcome now to our viewers through our Queensland stations. Apparently a minimum of football up there today with the weather, and we welcome you to Brookvale Oval for today's big game between Manly and Parramatta, and to be played before a capacity house, probably in the vicinity of 23,000 people here. The pitch rather spongy. Michael Stone is the referee in charge as the toss of the coin takes place. Krilich placing the ball for the kickoff. And so referee Mick Stone has blown time on, and Graham Eadie starts another Manly Parramatta clash. Peter Sterling giving it immediately to David Lydiard, and he's tackled inside his own 22. McCabe was 1 tackler, Thompson the other. This is Neil Hunt, and again Alan. I thought Michael Cronin would have had a kick from there. It was only 22 metres out and 10 metres in from the sideline.
Maybe they just feel that
they've got pressure on, haven't they?
Yeah, well, it's, as I said, it's been on now for about 6 minutes, this pressure, and they're keen to sustain it. And here's Jerd.
Oh, good play.
Oh, Bugden to Price, and Price is in.
Marvellous tackle.
A set piece of play from the Eels has worked to perfection for them. Oh, Stanley Jerd and Jeff Bugden looking like ballet dancers. Jerd pirouetted, Bugden did the same, and then Ray Price said thank you and went under the post to score. The Rank Arena replay again.
Yeah, don't start blaming the Manly defence here. A great ball from Bugden, and backing up was ever Ray Price. A great set move, well performed by all the players.
Well, there he is, and as Max Krilich said to us in an interview this morning, there's no greater player in the world than this man, but I think Ray will be the first to admit that try belonged firmly to the 2 props. Agree or disagree, Bill Anderson?
Well, it belonged also to the coach. I'm sure that was a well-rehearsed tap play, and one of the ways of beating defence in first-grade football is to put on a set move. Exactly what happened, and that now makes the score 6 points to 0.
Second time. And the differential goes to Parramatta. A chance. Here's the scrums and penalties. 3-2 the scrums to Parramatta. Penalties 6-3 to Parramatta.
And here's a good situation for Parramatta to put on another one of their specialist tap plays.
So Neil Hunt it is who puts the ball down politely.
for Peter Sterling. 6 forwards involved in it. And here they go. All over the place, and Jerd goes ahead, and he was actually pushed by Bugden. They put that under the Sydney Cricket Ground one day. Anyway, it's out with Sterling. Sterling back to Cronin. Cronin stands and gets it back to Sharp. A pop of a pass to Phillips, and Phillips goes to ground. He's about 8 metres out from the Manly line. About 15 of the first half remaining. The ball given back for Stephen Edge, and he's taken by Jeff Gerard.
There's a lot of pressure for Manly to have to withstand in this game.
Duffy is the dummy half. It's gone to Sterling. There's the kick by Sterling coming off Fortin. It's down and back, and Sterling's got possession back for Parramatta. He's counted it as a tackle.
Well, the ball was kicked into Fortin. I doubt that he played at it.
All right, so it's with Don Duffy now. And this is the last tackle coming up for the Eels. Edge has gone to dummy half. Sterling will call it. There he is. And there's the chip, sending Kenny through with Rebo. And I think Ray Price has got the ball and scored. Ray Price has grounded, and it's a 4-pointer to Parramatta. They've gone to 10 points to 0. Here's the Race Arena replay. The little chip by Peter Sterling. Ray Price is right up there, snatched it from John Rebo and put it down.
These two fellas mean so much to Parramatta, and they've taken it upon themselves to grab this game by the scruff of the neck and really try and turn it their way.
Oh.
Great backing up by Price.
Cronin is just inside the 22. You'll find he's about 12 metres in. 10-0 in favour of the Eels. There goes his kick. The touch judges haven't moved. It's a goal. And Parramatta have raced to a 12-0 lead. Built in the days when they set that ground record. I might be wrong. It could be up near ground record proportions, this crowd. As Manly take the tap, and Rebo is asked to run it.
I expect a real effort here from Manly. There's only 6 or 7 minutes to go before half-time. They're up towards the Parramatta quarter. I'd expect them to try and put something on.
And Dave Brown it is who's going to play it. Steve Sharp just getting back into the line of defence. He took a hit, stunned him. He's got a cut over that left eye, Sharp. You might have just caught a glimpse of it. Thompson is tackled. There it is, a better shot of Steve. Blood over his left eye. McKay bleeding from a cut over his right cheek. Gerard giving a good ball to Sigsworth. And Sigsworth is tackled 10 metres out. Here's the last coming up again for the Eagles. They might try the grub this time, possibly. There it goes. Now it's another bomb. Now they'll surely call. Oh, they all fly, and who's got it? Well, in racing talk, they'll have to use the photo to work this one out. But there he is. Young Phillips has come up with it. But, gee, I tell you what, it's not the first time I've seen Parramatta, not just in this match, but go up for bombs and players not calling one another. I can remember Kenny did it, not Kenny, but Sterling did it at the cricket ground a couple of times last year.
Yeah, just call a little bit of over-enthusiasm. They're that keen to do well, obviously, today. They're all trying just that little bit too much.
So the penalty goes to Parramatta. Stealing the ball was the ruling.
And that's another poor line kick, that time by Michael Cronin.
Bill, the more I see of the line kicks, I'm starting to think your comment about the ball earlier has got special significance. They're much better kickers than this, but Cronin was going for safety there, I'm sure. Here's Sterling.
Well, just prior to the start of the game, I think if you saw the captain's toss up, Sterling did in fact hand one of the balls to the referee to answer that. I think it was just Gerard unable to hang on to it.
Siren seconds away. Sterling feeds it. And down goes the scrum. And up goes the arm. Another penalty to Manly. Phil Blake takes a quick tap. Then it's spread out to Thompson. Thompson on to Chris Close. Now to Graeme Eadie. Eadie through the dummy and scored. But hold it. The referee has recalled play back to the scrum base.
Tap not taken on the mark, which it has to be taken, and the referee's ordered a scrum.
Well, the crowd giving the referee the rounds of the table as we were singing the praises of Graeme Eadie. Back there, Michael Stone was ordering that the tap wasn't taken on the mark. He's now explaining to Manly captain Alan Thompson his reasons. And that's it. After 40 minutes, Parramatta leading Manly by 12 points to 0. Scrums and penalties at the break. Scrums 4-2 to Parramatta. Penalties have crept up considerably for Manly in the latter part of the first half to 8-7 in favour of the home side. A break, and then we're back for the second half of the Rank Arena big game.
In the cover defending role, and I think they could have used a greater variety in their kicking game.
Sigsworth to play it just outside the Parramatta 22, and Gerard takes it up. Probably he's been the outstanding front rower of the year, Jeff Gerard. Thompson spirals it back there to Krilic, then to Boyd. And here's the last coming up for Manly now.
Yeah, 5 tackles gone. Phil Blake again. You have to get involved in the play.
Sigsworth, a little chip. Phillips goes across, takes it safely, and touch judge going in. Touch judge in. This is to do with Jeff Bugden. Maybe that was the incident there we saw just after the kick. He's given the penalty. Penalty to the Eagles. And Michael Stone quite definitely marking the point where he wants it taken. Paul McCabe, the Manly number 8. You heard me singing his praises continuously through the first half. His first half tackle count was 18, but they were big, weren't they?
Yeah, one of the problems, of course, with that sort of tackling is this: they're either very big hits or they're misses.
It's a difficult kick. Hits it. It's wide. It's come off the outside edge. Sterling is going to bring it out if he can beat Carey. He does that. He's stood in Vorton's tackle, gave it to Phillips, and Phillips is tackled. We'll come out of this with 6 more tackles. And they're inside, as you can see, the Parramatta 22. The tap to be taken by Krilic. Edie kicking that ball backwards to put the 10 metres between attack and defence. Now it's Krilic, a show of the ball to Vorton. Boyd, he'll score, I think. No, the little man has been able to stop him, but hold the phone. There's been obstruction in the back play from Jeff Gerard on a Parramatta player. What's Les doing? Les gets up and says, what's been going on up here? Here's the incident. Jeff Gerard's the player to watch. Well, there he is there. Yeah, well, that was why the penalty was given.
Deliberate, Shepherd.
For taking Bugden out of the play. Picking up Close, and Close is tackled out there by Phillips. And the help out there of another Parramatta colleague. Vorton gives it to Sigsworth. Sigsworth looks to pass. It's with Krilic. Backwards, said the referee. Play on, up goes Max Krilic. Now it's with Paul Vorton. Infield pass off a Parramatta player. And Phil Blake is in to score for Manly. Blake's in to score under the uprights, so Manly start their climb back. Here's the Rank Arena replay. Vorton gave the ball to Sigsworth. Sigsworth passed. It went down and behind. Krilic scampered around, saw an opening, charged up the field. Then Vorton. This pass is the one that went in and off a Parramatta player and plucked in by Phil Blake for a try.
Full credit to Manly for fighting back. They've been threatening to do this for about 20 minutes now, but by that sheer weight of penalties, they've come back into this game. Manly's forwards getting a little bit tired up the middle there, and Vorton handling twice in the move. A little bit of luck there with the bounce of the ball off a Parramatta player, but Blake backing up and getting himself involved in the game.
Phil Blake, magical little player, but he, as the co-commentators have been saying, has been relatively quiet today.
Well, you can never underestimate Manly because they've got such individually good players. There was nothing on them. They were able to make a break, and Phil Blake finished it off. But we haven't seen enough of Phil in this game, and I'm sure that coach Bob Fulton will be looking to see a lot more of him in the remaining moments.
Looking as though Ray Price may come from the field. So the conversion from Graeme Edie successful, and Parramatta leads by 12 points to 6. The Rank Arena big game. Take this penalty shot, and he'll be wanting to give it plenty of boot to get it over that dead ball line, so that Parramatta will come back with possession. Brookvale Oval record. He didn't quite get it today. 24,156 here. Cronin's kick. He's got it. That probably has won the match for Parramatta. Manly would need to score twice now. Parramatta leading by 14 points to 6. 10 minutes out from the siren. Cronin, the goal kicker. Into the field. Gin, crowd dispute the feed. Parramatta's come up with it. Lydiard down the flank. Pursued by Rebo. Away from Rebo. Away from Eady. And Lydiard is in for an all-the-way try. Under the uprights for Parramatta to go. 18 points to 6 now. Lydiard was able to get around Rebo. Something I didn't think possible in this match today. Rebo was sucked in by Sterling, however, and then he beat Graeme Eady. And David Lydiard on the Rank Arena replay, plunging in for another Parramatta try, their third.
A very short blind, a real good ball from Sterling, who drew Rebo. I didn't realise this man Lydiard was this fast, but it's a good reward for his efforts. He's taken a lot of weight off the efforts of his forwards during the match. A great reward for a top match.
22 years of age. Funnily enough, David Lydiard trialled, I'm sure, with Penrith. Wouldn't you know it, with the Panthers luck the way it is, they didn't want him. And Charlie Gibson, I guess, and John Pearce will be watching this match and saying, would you please stop making those kind of remarks? But I believe it to be true. 19 is Ross Winshuttle going on for Manly as Michael Cronin converts the David Lydiard try, and Parramatta have stormed away to lead now by 20. Off the shoulder of Kenny, running with it as Hunt. He's in for another try. Parramatta scored. 24 points to 6 now to the Eels. Well, Kenny, he couldn't take it. It went off his shoulder and Neil Hunt was following through like a shearer's dog. Bugden went up, took them on, said, who wants it? There it was, off Kenny, and Hunt was Johnny on the spot. Dummy to Lydiard and was in to score. 24 to 6.
Yes, and Bugden's been able to stand up in tackles all day. He's had a fine match. Here he is, and he takes the ball up, looks for his support as he's done right throughout. Picked up by Hunt, and Hunt just had an easy dummy to throw as he had Winshuttle on the wrong foot there, having to mark Lydiard, and over for a fine try.
Neil Hunt, a bank clerk, 22 years of age. His father, a former secretary of Eastern Suburbs, and he was on a high. As an Australian schoolboy, he was recognised as the regular Parramatta fullback. When Jack Gibson came to the club, it appeared that he wasn't in favour with Jack Gibson, Neil Hunt, but he hung in there. Neil hung in there, and eventually he proved to Gibson that he was entitled to a first-grade spot. Now as a winger, Cronin has failed to convert, and the score remains at 24 points to 6 in favour of Parramatta over Manly. So you're watching the Rank Arena big game. Ella to Price, on to Kenny. Kenny looks inside, finds Duffy. Duffy tackled on the 22-metre line. There's the siren. The clash of the Titans, as the match had been programmed, is over. Won by Parramatta with 4 tries and 4 goals. 24 points to 6 against the 1 Manly try and 1 goal. Police escorting the referee from the field. The final scrum count 7-5 to Parramatta. The penalties went 16 to 10 to Manly. And repeating your score, Parramatta 24, defeating Manly 6. And we'll be back in just a moment in the dressing rooms for the Rank Arena Electronic Sales and Rentals Man of the Match Award.
A great Parramatta team effort. The Rank Arena Man of the Match, Peter Sterling. Peter, the Parramatta of old, should we say?
Well, it was much more like it, yes. You know, we're very happy with the performance. Everyone gave 110% effort, and that's all we ask.
A much improved defensive effort you were talking about.
Well, that was the most pleasing aspect, yeah. They scored a good try, but for the rest of the game, our defence was excellent.
A lot of the youngsters really did come through, though. Young Phillips, and of course Lydiard on the wing.
Yes, well, they're getting experience in first grade now, and they're handling like veterans, and it's important that we have depth in the club, and they're certainly providing it.
Steve Mortimer, the award winner 1 week. Peter Sterling. The race for the rep honours is still on.
Well, it always is.
Well, there you go. $800 worth of product from Rank Arena, as well as 300 movie swaps from Electronic Rentals. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Again, just another reminder too for all you folks at home, you can pick up your entry forms for the Rank Arena Man of the Match competition at all your local Rank Arena retailers.
Graeme Hughes there, talking with our man of the match, Peter Sterling. Let's go back to the Parramatta room now. Here's Graeme with coach Jack Gibson.
Jack, before the match I spoke to Steve Edge and I mentioned to him that Parramatta haven't been playing all that badly, but they just haven't been coming out with the points.
Well, that's right. That's what you get judged on. It's not whether you do a good job or a bad job or play well. It's how many games you win.
Were you happy with any one individual more than any others out there today?
Well, I probably look on the negative side of it. I usually think who's not going to make the team next week. But in the way they played, that's going to be a tough one with Growth coming back, because everyone can make the team next week.
Now let's take a look at the weekend results, remembering, of course, that Balmain and Newtown was postponed. Norths 24, Canterbury 10, Cronulla 42, West 16, Souths 23, Illawarra 18, East 30, Canberra 10, St George 18, Penrith 16, and repeating the result here, Parramatta 24, Manly 6. The premiership table, and look how tight it is at the top of the table. Manly 16, East 15,